second round. The second round. He had a hat trick. A hat trick.
Are you feeling lucky?
Gary, do you know what one of my new favorite numbers is? Number 12.
I
think I'm going to buy...
Carry it with me everywhere.
I'm going to buy 1,000 ping pong balls. I'm going to write 12 on all of them, and I'm just going to bathe in them. I'm just going to roll around in it.
Leave them floating around town so other people can find them and smile.
Yeah. I liked how this year in the draft, they also underlined, on a side note, all of the numbers. You know, because 12 upside down could possibly look like what? Like that's blatantly a 2.
21.
But even the 1 wasn't like it had the little foot on it. You know what I mean? Like that's a 1. Like but they all had underlines anyway.
I like too how I had no understanding of how any of that was going on or working. But when it got to that level, it was like, 12. Okay, I can watch for 12. It's like, I understand.
Amanda was watching
part.
it with me. Yeah. So this is where, they did a very good job of, I will say this, easier said than, we're on the other side of it. So for everyone, like if you've been living under a rock in the hockey world, right?
They did a good
Toronto
job,
Maple Leafs somehow a successful tank and got the number 1 draft pick overall in a year that it is a year to have the number 1 draft pick overall. Like there could arguably be 2 number 1s this year, but the choice is yours, right? So like it's very
make the playoffs 9 years in a row, miss the playoffs 1 time, first overall pick.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's a couple of things I can talk about there, Jay. So there's a meme going around that how have the Maple Leafs gotten more number 1 picks than they've won rounds in the last 10 years? And it's like, well, that's actually not true. It's almost more embarrassingly, it's the same amount. But you know what I mean? Like but like it's not anyway. So they did a good job this year of explaining it and making sure, like people will say it's rigged, but if I go over here with you how they did it, the only thing they could have been more transparent on here, there's a reason, but it would be very, very, very difficult to rig it the way they did it. And they did a good job explaining it. My only argument would be, and they explained it with Matt Schaefer, right? And the 2 kids
I missed
there.
all that.
So that was cute. But Jay, they explained it so quick.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got right to it that like I was still digesting, like, wait a minute. Wait. You know what I mean? And like when I went back after and I rewatched it, just like, am I stupid? Like, did I catch? Like, is this what? I was like, oh, okay. The second time through, I'm like, I get it now. But it was explained to you so quick. And then the next thing you know, it was like, please place ball number 1. I was like, wait. We need 4? We need to get 4 balls? And there's more, but like, and like team share numbers. So here's from what I understand, and I'm going to get this number wrong, but I think it was like the amount of balls they put in the machine. There was like 1,008, Gary, different combinations of numbers you could have gotten. And so then they randomized those 1,008 numbers to the teams that could possibly hit. So you had a series of different numbers. It's not unlike when we do this is different, but like we'll do every Olympics we do a fundraiser at the school, and the gold medal winning, like the game winning goal in the gold medal game has a time attached to it, whether it was in the first, second, or third period. and we do all random times through the periods. We chop them all up. We put them in envelopes, and you don't even know what times you got till you open the envelope. Like, it's very random. So you bought the envelope, you got 5 random times. If the goal scored on your time, makes sense? So I'm picturing all these teams, but where they went wrong, which I know why they did this, it would have been too many numbers. But I'm watching this, and the first ball rolls up, and I'm like, is that good? Is that good? I don't know. Like, is this a good thing? Oh, our percentage went up 3. Okay. So it must have been good. All right. Because we don't know what our numbers are. I have no idea what numbers I'm cheering for. You know what I mean?
Because did they show the numbers next to the teams right at the start?
No.
I feel like they didn't.
There would have been too many to show.
There would have been, to be fair, there would have been way, that's how random this draw was. There would have been way, way, way too many numbers to show. So I get why they did it. But it's almost like, picture like the typical person at like any 50-50 raffle you've ever been at, like a smaller event where it's like, why did you buy 62 tickets? You can't possibly check your numbers that fast. And I'm looking at my 3 that I got for $5. And I'm still feel like I'm slow checking numbers. That would have been a nightmare.
Right.
So when they got down, I think the second ball popped up, Gary, and the Leafs odds shot down a little bit. Yeah. And my wife sitting next to me, she's like, why are we even watching this? Why are we even watching this? They got like a 5. Like, I know it still says like 4 point whatever %, but like now all of a sudden, like Vancouver's 38. It's like, this is what's like, because finally. They're going by. Yeah. Oh man, they were probably so hyped for a second. So the percentage, from what I understand, is, and I'm watching the clock. I'm trying to speed up a little bit, but the percentage, from what I understand, is kind of like, well, so many of the teams left there that can move up or down or whatever have those first 2 numbers in one of their sets of 4 numbers. So that's why their odds either shot up, down, or so. That when the Leafs shot down at that point, I was
able to put together was
it was like so when the Leafs shot down, it was because, well, they don't have very many numbers with those 2 numbers in it, right? And then when the third number popped up, it was like the Leafs shot back up again, but still not as high as a couple of the other teams, but it did shoot back up again. But I remember, Gary, was it 8%? Like 8 point something percent? And I'm sitting there like, yeah, okay, there you go. Yeah, so in my head, Jeremy, like, so me and Jeremy used to play in these raffles and stuff for jerseys and stuff, and I'm sitting there like, 8.6, that's like a 1 in 10, right? That's like a 1 in 10. And it's not 1 in 10, but I'm like, that's like a 1 in 10. You know what I mean? Got a mini. They got in on a mini. There's a prayer here. There's a prayer. Like, I've won on a mini. I've won on a mini. Yeah. So it's like, it's possible. And my wife's sitting there like, she regrets now not filming. Because like, it's a wonder I didn't trash the living room.
Man.
Because before they even read off numbers. So now on the third number, now because there wouldn't be that many numbers combinations possibly left with what's left in there. They put them on
the list, the team list.
Now they put them on the list because keep in mind, as they pulled the numbers out, that's now impossible to be later on. Like, it's only so many combinations, right? Like, you can't have 12 twice, right? So, so we needed, and Vancouver had 3 possible numbers next to their name. The Leafs had 1, right? And there was other teams with 2 and a bunch of other teams with 1. And the second I saw, Gary, I don't know about you, but the second that ball came up the chute, he didn't even announce it yet. It was more like, is that a 12? Is that a 12? Is that a 12? I was jumping up and down. I was running around the house.
That's funny.
And I didn't even, this is where my mind was at. I didn't even yell to the kids that we just won the draft lottery. I'm like, we just got Gavin McKenna. We just got Gavin McKenna.
All right. Before we get back to being armchair GMs, we got to give a quick shout out to a true Atlantic Canadian legend.
That's right, Big 8 Beverages. If you grew up out east, you already know. And if you didn't, buddy, you missed out.
Big 8 is the official drink of minor hockey tournaments, post-game dressing rooms, and sitting in the stands, freezing while your kids forget how to skate.
Yeah, this stuff's been around longer than most rebuilds, and unlike most rebuilds, it actually works.
Big 8 is made right here in Atlantic Canada. Comes in a ridiculous amount of flavors, and somehow tastes even better when you're watching a 7-2 blowout.
It's the perfect drink for road trips, game nights, or when your team gives up 3 goals in 5 minutes and you just need something to help you calm down.
No fancy nonsense, no analytics, Just a solid, dependable beverage. Basically the shutdown defenseman of soft drinks.
So next time you're at the grocery store, grab a Big 8. Support local, drink cold, and argue about hockey like an adult.
Big 8 Beverages, proudly Atlantic Canadian, and proudly riding shotgun for the Bush League Hockey Podcast.
Now let's do that hockey.
Lost my ever-loving mind.
She sent me a message right when that happened. She's like, I've never seen Tyson jump that high. See, I didn't know the 12 was the Leafs. I was only alerted to it is when the 12 comes out and Bucci Grass is like, well, that is a 12. And he's like borderline laughing as he says it. And I'm like, why is he laughing?
Because he can't believe it.
And I look over at the list and I'm like, oh, are you serious?
What I loved is the background of all of this was the horrible press conference on Monday, which we didn't talk about and we don't have to go into.
I know.
But, like, the Leafs fans are just in the most foul mood they've ever been in, probably. Like, nobody is talking about the draft lottery, period. It's like, wasn't even on my mind until like when I turned it on the TV. I was like, oh yeah, draft lottery. So then they're showing all of like Vancouver and Calgary and all these places have their watch parties going on.
Toronto didn't even have one.
And excited. Toronto's like, no, we can't put our fans in a room right now because if we fall back and we're not a top 5 pick and have to give this to Boston, they're just going to start throwing chairs at screens or something. We can't have that scene in public. So no, we're not having a draft party. And then they win it. And it's just Matt Sundin on the screen.
By
He's
himself, smiling.
We won this thing.
Yeah. like laughing.
Second day on the job. He's like,
yeah.
How was your first day on your job, huh?
I laughed my head off at his reaction. It was like a legitimate, like, laughing out of hysteria.
Yes.
That he was so
couldn't believe
happy. And to your point, Gary, I don't know if it was because of winning the draft or he's like, no one has to talk about this press conference anymore.
Yes, exactly.
And you're right. Like, full disclosure, we were like, before we started recording, we're like, boys, what are we going to talk about? Not one of us said let's talk about the press conference.
No.
It's gone. It's gone. It's all, doesn't matter.
It's all sunny days now.
Yeah. They say winning fixes everything. Well, that's true. I did find it funny though that John Chayka, these guys just had to deal with right from the day they introduced him, right? That goes on and they're grilling him with questions and he's in the talk quotes from him in the media and stuff. And then on day 2, that happens. So it's a bunch more. So he's been talking straight to the media for like 2 days. And on the second day, it's like, well, what are you going to do? What does this mean for Matthews? What does it mean for this? Blah, blah, blah. Well, what are you going to rebuild? Are you going to blah, blah, blah? And he's like, yeah, well, I haven't met my scouting staff yet. Like I literally haven't met them.
Yeah. Yeah, it leaked on Sunday. They announced on Monday. On Tuesday, I've got the number 1 draft pick, and you're asking me what I'm doing.
Yeah, what does it mean for Austin Matthews? And what does it mean for, he's like, it's like, dude, I just got my bag unpacked at the hotel.
Yeah.
It's like he hasn't even talked to Matthews
pretty wild.
Yet. Oh, my goodness.
There's a couple of things, and I don't want to spend a lot of time on it because we got to move on, but we should probably touch on the press conference a little.
Do we?
Do you want to open that door?
How many times?
I do. I'll tell you, Gary, I'm going to open it only a crack because if people want to go watch, they can go watch for themselves. Just Steve Simmons.
I think everyone.
That's weird.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
Like, it's
That's weird. I've never seen someone report on only one team and root for them to fail so hard than this one single report. Like, it is like I'm talking sometimes it's sabotage.
That
like
wasn't even
leaking
good.
what Matthews' injury was, going at John Chayka like that. Like it's nonstop.
It's not even good journalism. Like I'm not I have no horse in the race.
No.
But like you're like, what kind of a thing is that to say as a professional journalist? Well, I talk to a lot of people and they're all pretty mad that you're hired. And they don't think that you should be hired. And then it's just like it goes to him and he's like, well, I've talked to a lot of people that think it's a great idea. Like, what are we doing?
If he would have left it at that, it would have been fine to me.
Yes.
It was the whole liar, con man.
Yes.
Yeah, salesman. That's what he said. So he's talking to Keith Pelley as if Chayka's not even in the room, which was weird.
Yes.
As if he's not sitting 4 feet away from Keith
wife
Pelley.
And children sitting right there.
Are there?
Inside.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I've talked to 20 NHLers, and 19 out of the 20 said this was a bad idea and used words like con man and liar and salesman and all this stuff and everything. And so how could you justify? And Keith Pelley's, well, I talk to people too. It's kind of like very...
Well, now, if you do go back and watch that press conference, even the questions before that one, you can see Pelley is getting very frustrated and defensive even before that question came up.
Which is what he wants.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he wants.
Yeah, he was getting very frustrated and annoyed by the questions before that one.
Yeah.
And most of the negative stuff this week, I think, from the press conference, a lot of it was more about Pelley and his responses. Chayka and Sundin's responses seemed mostly fine through the whole thing when they were allowed to talk.
Yeah.
I wonder how much of that was on purpose. Like, you know what? I'm instantly going to switch the heat onto me.
The villain.
And then I'm going to get out of the way and you two do your thing. Yeah. That was just that was weird.
Inadvertently be making Rogers the villain, which his bosses probably won't be happy about either. But
yeah, but what are you gonna do? Switch cell phone providers? I doubt it. You know what I mean?
I'll show you.
And there is something like, you know how sometimes, I know Jay and I have talked about this stuff before, like not necessarily conspiracy, but sometimes reverse conspiracy, in that like, okay, you're telling me 19 out of 20 people you talk to. First of all, Steve, I don't believe 20 people willingly talk to you. That's number one, the way you approach this press conference.
You meant on the subway on the way there.
Yeah. Okay. I just don't believe that. But like, you can think about John Chayka what you want. An outside company did the vetting process for them. They did multiple interviews. You don't think they called around and looked into everything they possibly could before hiring someone of this magnitude to their organization? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's in the NHL thought so lowly of him that they reinstated him and said, yeah, sure, go ahead. It's been long enough. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So they didn't think they didn't Pete Rose him or anything. He's back. Do you know what I mean? So it's so to me, when there's stuff that we don't know, but Bettman's allowing him, when Bettman is Bettman. Agreed on that one?
Mm.
So if Bettman allows someone like him back in the league and he knows more than we do, well, then there must really not be that much to hide, or he wouldn't allow this to... Like, I don't need to know all the info. Like, sometimes that's good enough, or like they wouldn't take the gamble, right? Anyway.
Yeah, and I mean, like, Bettman's pretty... He's pretty protective of, like...
Yes.
Like, owners, and he's the commissioner of the league.
Yeah.
He works for the owners, like that. Like, less people
I
think
find
he
him
works
very
for the
cautious
fans.
with that stuff.
It's not the fans. He works, but yes. So yeah, to your point, like, I don't think that gets the light of day without, like after they've had GM meetings and meetings, and they've said, sure, like they don't have any issue with it. So, especially for a high profile franchise like that. So
yeah. I think if he thought it was bad, he'd say so.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I really, really do. So, and then 24 hours after the wildest couple interviews, and they win the draft lottery.
So here's the thing. I understand we only have so much time to talk, but like,
yep,
we can't preface all of this without hearing what you guys think. So does this mean Celebrini? McKenna. Yeah. Sorry. Quick thing. San Jose.
Celebrini.
What was We'll get to that. We'll get to that. This tats tie in. But what was up with Mike Greer? What was
what
that?
the heck? What do you mean? Do you mean this?
They jumped way up to second. And it was like
I was set in my mind to trade my draft pick, and now you're going to make me think about this stupid thing.
Now I get that stupid Stenberg kid who people think could also be the number 1 overall pick. Hilarious. I don't understand what happened there. What did he think? Why don't? And even Bucci Gross was like, you can smile, Mike. You're like, you did pretty good.
It's such a win for San Jose. That like nobody, they're the one team that no one's going to bat an eye that if they actually pass over McKenna or Stenberg because of their unique situation with the players they have right now, people are going to be like, yeah, Chase Reed. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. They
like,
are
no, they're the one team up there that it's like, yeah.
They're a lot like what the Canadiens were like, a couple years ago. You know what I mean?
I was just going to say like 3 years ago. Yeah.
I mean, Celebrini, I think, is a
Kicks
step
up another level.
He's a step above anyone the Habs were able to draft, no doubt. But I mean, in terms of who the young players they have and the picks and stuff, like they're headed that way. And now they get the number 2 pick, like after almost making the playoffs. Like that's everybody except Mike Greer is pretty excited about it.
Like San Jose in 2 or 3 years will be insane.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how they don't end up being insane. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but I gotta get your guys' thoughts now. So what does this mean for Matthews? Is he staying? Is McKenna going to be his new Mitch Marner 2.0? And then when Matthews, in a couple of years, if he decides not to go, like they trade him and they build around McKenna, or does he like? What should they do with this? Or do they trade him while they've got time now and they just hit a reset on the franchise? Like what's the move there?
I think McKenna doesn't make them a instant cup contender in the next 2 years. So that's nice. It's going to be a nice cherry on the sundae to convince him. But I think you're going to need a bit more of a plan than winning a lottery.
Like, if I can add to that, I thought exactly that. To me, is this not like a net zero? You lost Marner for almost nothing. Well, you lost him for nothing, but on almost nothing. And now you get the lottery and you get a prospect with as much upside as him, a winger. He can do the things that Marner used to do. It's kind of like doesn't it just kind of balance itself out? Like to your point,
lose a playmaking winger, pick up a playmaking winger.
Yeah,
I saw somebody had a tweet from like last year after they got eliminated by Florida, and it was Leafs' new plan. Number 1, let Marner walk. Number 2, tank. Number 3, draft Gavin McKenna. Number 4, sign McDavid.
Oh boy!
I mean,
just easy.
So just show Matthews that tweet and say, this is where we're headed.
So, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you're saying it's basically the same. Yeah.
I think you could convince him to give it the year. Tell him you're going to do something on the D and we'll revisit it next summer.
So Elliot Friedman, the only thing he had to report, because there's a lot of stuff that I know CJ was almost feeling like he needed to defend himself, right? Because Keith Pelley said something about there's an awful lot in the media that's not entirely true. Or maybe, you know how like...
No way we used AI at the trade deadline.
But yeah, but I can envision when I see stuff like that now, it's not at all the same, but like I work in the public school system, and sometimes like one of our big rules is like if I see someone commenting complete inaccuracies about the school or what went on at the school today on Facebook, I'm not allowed to comment. And so, but I will tell you, sometimes I see something, it's number one, it's never 100% true, but almost always I know where it came from. It's like, okay, well, I know how this rumor started, but that's not what happened. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes it's not even close, but I know where it came from. And that was almost the read I was getting on Keith Pelley. Like, CJ didn't make this up. But then Keith Pelley almost seemed the type of annoyed, like, guys, that's not what... Do you know what I mean? Oh, yeah, we used AI for our takeout. We wanted to know, we were arguing over where to eat during the trade deadline, and we were trying to... Like, you have no idea. Anyway, I heard Elliot Friedman, and it was like, you know, sometimes he says stuff that it's telling, but it's also a whole lot of nothing, like it doesn't help you any. So Elliot Friedman said, from what he understands from the Matthews camp, is he wants to reevaluate in the middle or end of July to kind of see how the draft went, that he had actually had a chance to meet with Chayka. What's the vision for the team? Where do we think we're going? But Elliot Friedman's point would be like, well, dear Matthews, if you want to meet with him in the middle or late July, that is actually not enough time for Chayka to have done anything, though. So you want to reevaluate where we're going, but that's not enough time to figure out. Like, these things take time. Like, you imagine like making a proposition to a team for a trade and them taking a week to get back to you, which they're in no rush because it's summer. Well, they're not going to have all these answers by the end of July. They won't. The whole summer is going to be questions. So now that said, if he does reevaluate and he wants to go, that's when you're like, okay, so we can shop you then? Can you give me a short list just to see what the return would be? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Because if you don't want to play here, well then why'd you take the C last year, number one? Okay, that's the first thing. And then number two, like, well, just tell us, because we could move on now and start now rather than trying to start later.
My only other thought on an option, I think this is the less likely one because, as Brian Burke always used to say, you draft the best player available. So what about like this Chase Reed guy? He's not Matthew Schaefer. You just missed out on that. But like, if you trade down, so you're trading for another first overall further down, but you're gonna get, I would assume, a roster player by trading that pick, like that particular pick down, right? So is it not easier to get a winger that's more proven to play with them, and then you draft your Morgan Riley replacement? You know what I mean? Like, we're talking about, we're looking at the importance
I do know what you mean.
Of defensemen, and how it's almost like franchises will value building around a number one D-man, you know, almost like first now at this point. Again, I don't think that'll actually happen, but it's something that I think about. I'm like, but why not though? You know? But I get it. He's not Matt.
Part of it's got to be he's not, and part of it's got to be the pressure of like, you passed over Gavin McKenna.
Exactly.
Because what if Gavin McKenna turns out to be like 3 or 4 years from now?
The first thing you do as GM is pass on Gavin McKenna.
Yeah. Yeah, like I say,
it is.
It never happens. So it won't happen, but I always like think about that. I'm like, well, I don't know, like.
But the opposite, Jay, and we probably, because we're pretty deep into this now already, but your puck moving defenseman, even if it's young and a prospect or someone who's starting to be proven, maybe in the first couple of years, if the Matthews thing really, really isn't going to work out, that might be something you're getting in return. That's there is another way that this happens, right? So
yeah, it'd have to be pretty big. I mean, if you're wondering how important puck-moving defensemen are, may I interest you in the Avalanche versus the Wild?
Yep.
If you're curious about the value of that.
100%. 100% though.
Yeah.
100%.
But yeah.
You want to
Anyway.
move on to the pre-draft show?
The pre-draft.
And the NHL playoffs?
Pre-draft. Yeah, that's right. Well, before that though, boys, I'm getting a little thirsty here. We've been doing the show a while. So let's get ourselves a Big 8 player of the week.
Dave's a killer. Yeah, Dave's a killer.
Okay, so here we go. Let's get ready to crack one here. I have a suggestion. We didn't actually talk about this beforehand, but I think you got to think about Freddie Andersen. Good old Leaf.
Sure.
Clutch playoff performer Freddie Andersen.
Attaboy, Freddie.
Unbeatable.
Undefeated.
I still made this about the Leafs. Half an hour
Thank
into
you.
this.
Thank you, Jay, for all the great memories that are flooding my head right now.
Well, okay. There's another nomination of an ex-Leaf. That's doing pretty well.
You had me at Freddie. So
there's another member of this podcast who I can hear seething through the universe.
Why isn't Matt here for that? So
I'm referring to Mitch Marner, who is currently I don't know
He fell off now on points.
Mitchell Marner,
isn't it
Esquire.
as of last night he was leading the entire playoffs in points?
Yes, now it's
13 points.
now it's Kaprizov.
Yeah. Prior to the
Second in
Game
points
4.
and second in goals, Mitch Marner.
Yeah. 6
Clutch.
goals.
Playoff performer.
There you go.
Hat trick in the playoffs. Hat trick in the playoffs.
Imagine. Did you see John Tortorella?
I saw him get a hat trick in the playoffs. In the second round. The second round. He had a hat trick. A hat trick.
This is Gary's Allen Iverson moment. We talk about hat tricks, man. We talk about hat tricks.
We're not talking about the regular season, man. We're talking about the playoffs. Second round playoffs.
John Tortorella didn't
But
have
Gary,
any time
like,
for
how?
your narratives.
Like, has he finally deleted Twitter and
He's-
Instagram? Like, is that how? Like,
He's always wanted the number 93.
That's what it was.
That's all this was about.
That's all it was. Just should have given him the number. Unretired the number.
Those are two solid picks, Jay. To cleanse my palate, I was trying to think of a Carolina Hurricane to throw out there because how to avoid that right now. And Taylor Hall, perhaps one of the most underrated players in the league right now.
What do you mean? He's over the hill and washed up and yeah. So
Taylor Hall, my pick. Thank you very much.
you going with Taylor Hall?
As opposed to the other two Jay has brought up.
I mean, I'd take Freddie over Mitch, but I'm not talking about player of the week.
I suppose given my reaction, Mitch might be deserving.
It hurts me. It physically hurts me. I'm feeling pain, but I'm going to have to vote. I can't even say it. I can't say it out loud.
Just take Get the energy.
If I may take a moment here, this is one of those things where it doesn't work because of the schedule and the what the definition of a set week is. But I was going to throw, heaven help me here, Nathan McKinnon out there.
Anybody.
He had 3-point night, 3 nights in a row, but unfortunately it doesn't land within the calendar week.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so who are we going with? Do you want me to do this? Do you want to cast lots?
My vote is Mitch Marner.
Okay. I thought you were going to go with Andersen. I thought that would be easier at least.
Jokes aside, Freddie's having himself quite a
It's really
the
entire
here.
Playoffs.
The whole...
I was trying to pick a player from Carolina, and like it was hard to pick a player because they're Carolina.
There is no player. There's the whole team.
They play as one.
Yeah.
But good for Freddie and Jay. Like Leafs fans aren't mad at Freddie like they're mad at Mitch. Do you know what I mean?
A little different.
Like none of us, like when he left, it was like, I get it. You know what I mean? It was no one was mad at him.
In Matt's own words, who he's not here, but I heard from him directly. He is happy to see Freddie Andersen doing well. So,
yes. Yeah, I always liked Freddie.
Legitimately happy for him.
I did. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm happy for him too. But I voted the way I voted. Don't make me say it twice. So.
Okay, we got one Marner. You're saying Gary. You're saying Taylor Hall. I'm saying Freddie Andersen. Perfect. Moving on. Nobody wins. I'm gonna give it to. I'll go with Tyson on that just because. The hat trick.
It's a hat trick.
It's a big deal.
It's
a big deal to get a hat trick.
You were talking.
We're talking about a week, not the entire playoffs. So I think
the second round this week.
Wow, that is a good. We want to discuss Philly and Carolina here quickly, and then move on to the other series because that is.
Well, there's not much to say.
So.
Carolina has time to go on a Caribbean vacation.
Yeah.
Oh,
the next round.
Not a cruise, though. Not a cruise.
Yeah. Game three of the Sabres and the Habs is tonight, isn't it?
It's right now. Yeah.
It's right now. And the series is tied 1-1. So someone has to win 3 more games yet.
And Carolina's done. They're waiting.
Done.
Yep. It has all the fixins of a 7-game series.
Yep.
It does. Yeah, it does. It really does.
There was not much of a contest. Rick Tocchet was yelling at Zegras at one point pretty openly. Philly they just hit the wall of the whole.
I like the Tocchet thing though. He would yell at them and coach them and send them right back out. Nobody misses a shift if you make a mistake or screw up.
Didn't bench you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you did? Go out and fix it.
Go out and fix it. Yeah. Yeah, and I guess that's why he doesn't hide. Like it's pretty obvious that he's yelling at them. Like one player.
No, he didn't.
But it's just gravy for Philly, right? Like they weren't supposed to do this. They weren't expected to, be a playoff team. They run into Carolina, who I don't know. It's funny, man. Like Carolina is no different than ever. Nothing's changed. They're exactly the same. The big difference is, like they are the team that epitomizes no one star player. It's done by committee. It's 4 lines that play identically. It's just suffocating forecheck. It's shot volume. And we have been saying that for years. Now they've got like that Stankoven, like that guy is such a stud. And he's exactly the player that fits Carolina's MO. And really, like, you know, I think with him and getting Ehlers from Winnipeg, you know, when they lost Natchez, he was their one fast guy. Well, now they have a fast guy with Ehlers and Stankoven. And I'm looking at the conference final, and I'm like, this is where I'm struggling because my playoff bracket's busted so I have no idea what I'm talking about. But I look at the conference final, and I'm like, this is where they always falter, but they usually play like the team that goes on to win the Stanley Cup, or they play a really tough, grizzled veteran playoff team. They're going to play either the Canadiens or the Sabres. So like,
feels different this year.
It feels different, you know. And I don't know. I and again, I'll eat my words if I'm wrong, but like, this kind of feels like they're going to do to whoever comes out of that series what they just did to Philadelphia. Am I wrong? Like, you know what? Like,
you're not wrong.
I watched one entire Habs Sabres game, and I'm like, Montreal plays a man-on-man defense, and the way Carolina forechecks, they will pick that apart. It won't last. It'll be endless shifts of them skating around, chasing players around. I don't think it's going to work. Buffalo's more of a zone defense, except I don't know. Like, I don't see any kind of playoff shot blocking mentality like you used to see at a Tampa Bay, or you know what I mean? I don't see that with their defense. So I think the Carolina offense is also going to work on that. I don't know. I would be hilarious. I'd be happy to be proven wrong because it'd be an incredible story if one of those two teams makes it to the Stanley Cup final. I just don't see. I don't see either of those teams beating this Carolina Hurricanes 4 times. I don't know. What do you think?
Well said.
Well, honestly,
there you go.
There's only one thing you're missing. There's only one aspect of this you're missing. It's still Carolina in a conference final. So,
yeah. And maybe I'll look like the idiot because what's the definition of insanity? Expecting the different result, doing the same thing over and over.
Yeah. Because on paper, I 100% you're correct. Except other years, I thought, okay, I think Carolina could do it this year. I think they could.
I know.
Nope.
But this might be the year because I don't think very many people had Carolina winning the Stanley Cup because everyone's just tired of of being wrong about them coming out of the East.
I think the only thing that could stop them now is having this huge break off and like losing the momentum of what they had going. But I think the break's going to be good for them, to be honest.
I think it'll be good. If you got anyone playing through anything, I just think healing up. I was talking about that with Matt the other day. Like, I think the whole rest versus rust, like you shake rust off in a game. Health follows you for a long, like that time to heal up, I just think is way more value than, you know, just getting your groove, getting into your groove.
Well, especially the opposite of that, Jay. So if Buffalo and Montreal, whoever wins, if it does go 6 or 7 games and they've beaten the snot out of each other for 6 or 7 games, and then they got a 2-day layoff, and nope, we're playing again, and this team's been relaxing, like ready to go. Yeah, you're not. It's not just that they healed up; you're hurt. Yeah,
you get a 9-6 game when that happens. Oh dear. Yeah.
So, Montreal, Buffalo. Should we selfishly gauge any outcomes that we want to see here based on what traffic's going to be like in Montreal in 2 weeks?
I know. I was talking to a guy at work about that. I'm like, this could be really bad. This could be insane. Like,
yes,
what?
It could.
So
the Montreal
is currently
is 2 weekends away.
and it was moved earlier in the year. Normally it's in June. And then typically the Habs are not playing in June. So it's not normally an issue.
So I'm just pulling this up, but Montreal's winning 2-1 right now.
Yeah, I see that.
With 12 left in the second. And if I'm just going by the shots, the ice looks a little tilted tonight. 21 shots to 11 in favor of Montreal.
Yeah.
And the 11 is very unlike Buffalo this year. So I don't know what. Anyway, I'm curious.
The Sabres got their goal within the first minute of the game.
Yeah.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because like if they win tonight.
I had no real read on this series because like game 1 was all Buffalo. Game 2, Montreal looked awesome.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I just think whichever team decides to get fired up can probably win.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like it's kind of
before
what it
the
feels
series even started, and I was getting asked about it at work. I was like, listen, honestly couldn't tell you who's going to win. It's going to go 6 or 7 games.
Yeah.
That was my prediction.
Like,
and I play, don't make me choose. I don't know, but it's going to go long. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, like I thought it was funny. So I've been also going to some of the Wildcats games since they're in the Quebec Major Junior Final. And they're playing Chicoutimi now. So I've been watching like a fair amount of junior hockey here. And I'm watching that Sabres Canadiens game. And I'm like, this has like the chaos of junior hockey. It's like you can see the intent when they start their set play or whatever. But as soon as it goes sideways, it just kind of turns into chaos. Like I don't quite know.
I heard people say the same thing after the 9-6 game with the Avs.
Junior hockey?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was very junior hockey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough. But yeah, I don't know. I don't even want to pick a winner. I have no idea. I don't think anyone has any idea.
No.
Just enjoy it.
Yeah, just
that's sum up that series. Just enjoy it. Grab a Big 8, go to the fridge.
Yeah.
And I mean, maybe it only goes 5 games. But you know how like a whole series can be over in 4 or 5 games, but every game was still close, like a game of inches. You know what I mean? Yeah. And sometimes like a sweep doesn't tell the whole tale because like overtime, 1-goal game, overtime. And it's like, yeah, just that this team just edged them out barely. Like it's not.
Yeah.
What else do you want to talk about?
I suppose we could talk about the boring old West, the Wild West. So yeah, did you guys see game 1 of the Avs Wild?
I did. You mean the game with more goals than the Leafs in the entire month of March? That game?
I think that game was the same night. It was the game after the game 7 of the Habs and the Lightning. I saw someone posted that the Habs outshot Nazem Kadri tonight 9-8. Had 8 shots on goal himself.
At one point, it went to intermission, and Ron McLean, when it was thrown to commercial, it said something to the fact of, "We'll get you back to this All-Star game after the short commercial break."
It was
just insane.
It was insane. There was 5 goals in each period. Each period was like a normal game in each period. Like it was like the definition of, it was like the maximum extreme of one team sitting for a week. They waited for a week. And their defensive coverage, the Avs defensive coverage was all over the place. They were missing assignments. They lost Makar a minute into the game. He missed the whole
going for the Inseguri Foligno.
Yeah, he almost had a hurricanrana there on Marcus Foligno. Went in for the big hit, and so he left. He missed most of the first. So the defensive pairs all got shuffled in the first minute, and they were lost. They were like they didn't know who's where or who to cover because they play a man on man too. And it's like if you don't. You got to be pretty on the ball to play that way. You got to know all the time who you're supposed to be covering. Like the spaces open up real quick when you get that wrong. And so it's 3-0 Avs in the first 6 minutes. And the period ends 3-2. And then at one point in the second, the Wild were up 5-4.
Yep.
And then Colorado comes back. They get the lead again. And it's 6-4 at one point, and you kind of think, oh, that's probably it. And the game ends 9-6. And it was just like Minnesota completely did not adjust at all. Like they had no time. You could just see they were still playing the Dallas Stars. Like they played exactly the same way. Dallas gave them no challenge at 5-on-5, and the Avs gave them all of the challenge at 5-on-5. And then in the second game, it tightened up. Everybody kind of had a breath and figured it out. And it tightened up. The Avs special teams on that one comes through, which is a sigh of relief for me because it was the power play all season, which was doing nothing.
Been constipated all season.
All season, and now it's taking a dump on everybody. But then now, so this was the interesting thing, right? So because the Timberwolves are in the NBA playoffs, there was a scheduling conflict. So where there was 3 days between game 2 and game 3. Game 3 was last night. And that was a version of, that was the best Minnesota Wild game I think I've probably ever seen. Ever. And I remember playing the Wild in the early 2010s. I remember the fateful Andrew Burnett knocking them out of the playoffs on Patrick Waz last year. I remember those series. This Wild game was crazy. They were just hitting the fourth line. The Folignos were just hitting everybody. Now, it was a little different because it was fourth line versus fourth line. So all the big hits were coming against fourth line guys. So I was kind of like, they can deal with that. But yeah, they didn't relent. The Avs had some power play chances, but it wasn't really enough anyways. That was Minnesota's A1, that was them at A+. And so now I'm like, all right, so they lose their first of the playoffs. They'd won 6 in a row to this point. And I kind of remember this in 2022, they kind of faced a little adversity against St. Louis in 2022. And they were able to respond and figure it out. I think they sat back and they respected Minnesota too much. I think they waited for that and they sat back and they got it handed to them. And now I think, all right, so you got to bring your A+ game now. You got to win one in their building. To me, it's a must win. In my opinion, you got to come home with winning one in their building. So we'll see. I think they have it in them, but this is the championship resolve. I think right here, you get smacked like that. A good team comes out. So we'll see.
What do you think Makar is going through? What percentage do you think he's playing at?
Yeah, I think whatever it is, it must be muscle related because he came back in that game 1. He tested out his leg right before the end went to intermission, and he takes shifts he's playing again in the second period, but he takes half the period to kind of wade back into it, and he still manages to get 2 goals and an assist in that game. But I think it's because they can give them something to play through stuff. And I think it took a while for him whatever they gave him, it took a while for it to set in. And I'm assuming he's taking something to deal with the pain management. But it seems like once, as far as his injury is right now, it doesn't seem to affect his abilities. Like he's still,
skating normal.
Yeah, he still looks pretty normal, but yeah, I tell you, I mean, I know the games are on later, but Hughes versus Makar is something else to watch. It is something else.
I've watched all of 2 out of the 3 so far.
Yeah.
I like when they asked Hughes about that, the Hughes versus Makar thing before the game. He's like, well, I haven't really thought much about that. It's just, team versus team. We're here to win as a team. Then he kind of looks at the camera and smiles.
Oh, there's no doubt, because like that, and that's why I thought like we're gonna see, it sucked to see that injury happen, because like I was like, this is going to be the Cale Makar show, because anytime they play each other, he goes for it. Like he goes full out. Like I think it's definitely it's a rivalry thing where he's like, you're not going to beat me tonight. So anyway, it's something else. It's fun to watch. And they just play so different. And it's fun to see it in the same game. Like the way Hughes doesn't have the stutter step. Like he doesn't have that same like agility, I guess. Like he does. Don't get me wrong. He does. But it's the deception. It's the gaps. It's the way he reads the guy going the other way. And then he goes the other way to get the space, and he gets a step. And it's more cerebral. Whereas Makar can just kind of, even if you have a good position on him, he can still find a way to beat you. He can just skate around you, look one way, and you're going to fall over or whatever, and he's going to get around you and get into the slot and either pass or create a scoring chance. It's just two different beasts, but anyways, fun either way. So but must win tomorrow. I think the Avs got to win one in their building.
Tonight, and we won't know the results. So this will come out tomorrow, and people will know the results. But Vegas and Anaheim. Any thoughts on how tonight's going to go, and then tomorrow we'll know if we were right or not.
Yeah, no way.
The Mitch Marner show, back-to-back hat tricks. Second round.
I'm trying to remember, but I think most of us agreed on, jokes aside about Mitch, but most of us agreed on I can't see a world where Vegas doesn't take this in 5 or 6.
I think my only thing
I think that's what we kind of agreed on.
My only question when we were talking about it was just the goaltending. I wasn't sure what kind of goaltending, but it's really not been a thing. Like the Ducks have scored 1 goal. They scored 3 in game 2, which they won that game. And they scored 2 goals in game 3. So yeah, I don't think so far, it hasn't been an issue.
Hasn't been an issue, yeah.
And the Vegas Golden, they look a little more like the old school Golden Knights. I mean, John Tortorella I have no idea if he talks about them about systems or not, or he just gets them fired up and says things like, remember who you are, and they go out and I have no idea.
Don't read social media comments. Stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Yeah, they seem to be, I mean, it also, I mean, the little coaching bump also seems to have worked for them, so.
Yeah. Yep. So you've got, it's interesting. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how well either of those teams have against whoever comes out of this Avs Wild series. I mean, it's been some pretty high level hockey.
Depends how they come out of that Avs Wild series.
Yeah. Like a lot of people had this pick. They had, a lot of people thought it was going to go 7 games. So, and it's been very physical.
Yes.
And I guess Josh Manson's coming back for next game. And he is there. Yeah. Well, it's a high possibility, and he's about their heaviest hitter. So we'll see. But
Dallas looked very unhealthy at the end of their series against the Wild.
Yeah. Did you see the list?
The list
of injuries was crazy. So,
yikes.
Yeah. But yeah, it's yeah. So there we go. Any quick thought. We have the Team Canada hats on, Tyson. Did you guys see today what the World Championship team, who the team captain will be? Did you guys see this?
Do you want to celebrate that?
So I thought that you should look this picture up. It's a fantastic picture. It's a picture of Celebrini, Ryan O'Reilly, and John Tavares. Celebrini's in the middle. He's got the C on his Team Canada jersey. And on either side of him is Ryan O'Reilly and John Tavares with the A's on their jersey. But I just think this picture's fantastic because if you look at the smiles on John Tavares' face, but I've never seen him smile like that, and Ryan O'Reilly's face, it's like they couldn't be more thrilled that this guy,
Ryan O'Reilly, is smiling so big, I almost didn't recognize him.
Yeah. I just thought that was fantastic. They were just like, yeah, no. They were like, we don't need to be captain or anything. Like, this guy is a stud. He's the future of Team Canada. We're going to give him the C. We're going to be here to help him. We're going to teach him. It's the World Championships. We're going to try to win. But like, I just thought that was awesome that they gave him that. Youngest captain for a World Championship Team Canada player, youngest ever captain, I guess. I just thought that was just look at that picture. It just like, it tells you it's like 1,000 words where they're like, this is the guy. We're here to help him. We're not here to, this is the next generation. Give him some experience, and we're here to help him. It's really cool, actually.
Yeah. I didn't mind it at all, honestly.
Yeah. Anyways,
now we can watch the World Championships and see how awesome Ivar Stenberg is, and then overcomplicate this first draft pick.
Because is McKenna playing in it? Or nope. No? He's not,
He passed to get ready for the combine.
She did the same as Bedard.
Yep.
Wow.
It is a more complicated choice than people think.
Which combine, Gary? The private one that Chayka's having like he always does?
The one in the Wendy's parking lot?
Hey, man, I just wanted to talk to you. So I have a sled with a bunch of sandbags on it. Just see how long
around the drive-thru.
The Wendy's parking lot.
I see all the Frosties I've lined up on that crossbar over there. How many can you knock off?
How fast do you think you can shoot those off there?
Oh, wow. All right. Yep. On that note.
Yep.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Thanks, Big 8. Keep your stick on the ice.